I think there's a number of reasons that Dickens' stories lend themselves so well to cinema. As we've often said, his stories were always adapted for the theatre. He thought of himself not just as a novelist, but he thought of himself as a dramatic novelist. The way in which he wrote, the way in which he created character, he acted out the characters and acted out their voices before he wrote them down. They were translated all the time into dramas. The way in which he wrote dialogue is very cinematic. It's very highly polished and honed and sharp. Also, description and the way in which he uses description and creates these extraordinarily word play and word pictures. And I think Michael should comment on this as a script writer about how he preempts, in a way, cinematic language.
Yes, and I think the first thing is that people have said in our day that more people know Dickens through cinema and particularly
Absolutely.
television
Yep.
than they do through his own books.
That's right.
But the fact is that was probably true in his day
Yeah.
as well, not just through these theatrical adaptations that we've talked about, but Magic Lantern shows, and of course Dickens's own reading tours,
Yes.
where he adapted his own works for public performance. And so in a way the characters come to you before you even start. But what's so fantastic about him as a writer, and I think he's entirely unique amongst his contemporaries, is that when you're reading Dickens, you are seeing the world that he's creating. And so for a screenwriter, for a director, there's a way in which what you have to do is to realize those images that he makes in your mind while you're reading them.
And I think that you've commented on this before, but other writers and directors have said that you can lift bodily almost chunks of Dickens, and it looks like screenplay dialogue. It looks like storyboard. That you can take these extraordinary descriptions and put them up there on screen, and they're a gift for production designers, cinematographers, and film directors, because of that, I think, completely unique way he wrote. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, is that his contemporaries didn't write in the same way. His predecessors didn't write in the same way, and arguably you didn't have novelists that wrote in the same way until cinema actually came about, and they were directly influenced by it. Dickens prefigures, he preempts cinema with the way he wrote.